Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses.
Shoo bob shooby doo doo booby doo dow.
And the shot rang out, bang!
Hot dog!
Don't hesitate! It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow!
Well, hello, and howdy. Welcome to Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin. I'm your host today, and our guest today is none other than Pete Peterson.
Hey, Ralph. Glad
Welcome
to see
to
you.
the show.
Thank you.
And we're going to start out with a number that I originally learned from the Old-Time String Band project, and when we're rehearsing it here, Pete reveals to me that it was actually recorded
Charlie
by
Poole tune.
Charlie Poole, and he sprung a new verse on me, which he's going to sing, if we don't screw up.
Okay.
Oh, let me use my harmonica on this too. And this is how organized we are here at Horses Sing None of It. Catches the young and the old, just like a plate of boarding house hash. Many a man's been sold, and it makes you feel like a freshwater eel. It causes your head to swell. You'll lose your mind 'cause love is blind, and it empties your pockets as well. It's boys, keep away from the girls, I say, and give them lots of room. 'Cause you find when you're with, they'll bang you till you're dead with a bald-headed end of the broom. Talks as gentle as a dove, spends all his money and he calls her honey just as sure as he saw it in love. Well, the money's all gone and the clothes worn out, then you find the old saying is true. Had a ball on the arm's worth two on the leg, but what are you going to do? I don't know. So boys, keep away from the girls, I say, and give them lots of room. 'Cause you find when you're wed, they'll bang you till you're dead with the bald-headed end of the broom. Now, when married folks has a lot of cash, you'll find that their love is strong. And when they has to feed on hash, the love don't last too long. With a wife and 17 half-starved kids, you'll find that it's no fun. The butcher comes around to collect on his bill with his dog and his double-barrel gun. It's boys, keep away from the girls, I say, and give them lots of room. 'Cause you find when you're wed that they'll get you out of bed with the bald-headed end of the broom. Don't be in a hurry away, you'll think you're in clover till the honeymoon's over, and then you'll think you're dead. With a cross-eyed baby on each knee, and a wife with a plaster on her nose, you'll find your love doesn't run so smooth when you wear your second-hand clothes. It's boys, keep away from the girls, I say, and give them lots of room. Yes, you find when you're wed that they get you out of bed with a bald-headed end of a broom.
Hey!
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, man, that was good. He's tuning up that banjo. What do you
Yeah.
got? What are you tuning up for, Pete?
Well, that was a Charlie Poole song, and you know, Charlie Poole is sort of one of my musical heroes. And in fact, I was lucky enough, this used to be Charlie Poole's banjo,
Wow.
or at least one of them. And
What kind of banjo is that?
it's one of these ridiculous things. If you look in the back, it says Sears Roebuck Supertone.
Yep.
But
They
there
never
were
made
about
one.
4 or 5. There were about 4 or 5 banjo companies up in Boston: Vega, Paramount, Stewart, and they all made little pieces of this banjo.
Uh-huh.
And they put it together and sold it to Sears Roebuck, and this got to be one of Poole's earlier banjos. I think it knows some tunes better than others. At least it seems to.
Yeah? How's that?
Well, I've been all around this whole wide world, done most everything. Played cards with the king and the queen, the ace, the deuce, and the trade. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down, 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 till your last gold dollar is gone. And I left my little girl crying, standing in the door. I'm an F. She threw her arms around my waist, saying, honey, don't go away no more. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down. Oh, honey, don't let your deal go down, 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 till your last gold dollar is gone. Where did you get those high-top shoes and the dress that you wear so fine? I got my shoes from a railroad man and my dress from a driver in the mine. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down. Oh, honey, don't let your deal go down, 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 till the last gold dollar is gone. I've been all around this whole wide world, other side of sunny Tennessee. Any old place that I hang my hat, that's home sweet home to me. Don't let your deal go down. Don't let your deal go down. Oh, honey, don't let your deal go down, 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 till your last gold dollar is gone.
Well, I hope you didn't mind me
Oh, that was
barging in there
great.
on your song.
That was great. I just needed to tell you what key it was in,
Well, okay.
so you could pick the right harmonica.
Well, that was good.
Yeah.
So, why don't you give us a little historical background on Charlie Poole?
Charlie Poole was a raving drunk who was a mill worker in North Carolina, born in 1891. And he was a mill worker and developed a taste for hard liquor and discovered that the only way he could afford it was if he made money playing music. So he started a band, and the band was himself, a guitar player, Roy Harvey, a fiddle player, Posey Rohrer, and they were Charlie Poole and the North Carolina Ramblers. And they started recording for Columbia, I think in 1926, I'm sure by 1927. And they recorded songs and tunes between then and 1931, when Poole drank himself to death at the age of 39.
That was a quick demise.
And that was a quick demise. When Charlie Poole was my age, he was dead.
So, what's the history of how he became your hero, musically speaking?
It's just great. It's just great wonderful music. A friend of mine had the expression "country ragtime," and he had an awful lot of influences from the Tin Pan Alley era later on. Actually, this might be a good excuse to do it. You were doing Bald-Headed End of a Broom. Well, he also had this sentimental picture of what married life was like. And he also fancied himself a classical banjo player.
Is that right?
Yeah. And he pestered Columbia until they finally let him record a couple of classical banjo tunes. And they sold like, they didn't sell. And after that, they wouldn't let him record any more classical banjo.
Poor Charlie.
Poor Charlie, he was heartbroken. But along the way, this is a... No one to love and caress. Sits a man noble and handsome, no loving wife's lips to press. She married him for position, but no love was in her heart. He turned around in his fine home, and from his lips came these words. What is home without babies to love and to squeeze and adore? What is home without sweet wife to kiss you each night at the door? What is home without sunshine to shed its bright rays from above? You may have wealth and its pleasures, but what is home without love? Down the street he walked one evening, past the little cottage so sweet, stopped and looked into a window, and there was a picture so sweet. Husband and wife and babies and kittens, they were laughing and kissing too. He turned aside, a tear to hide, and from his lips came these words. What is home without babies to love and to squeeze and adore? What is home without sweet wife to kiss you each night at the door? What is home without sunshine to shed its bright rays from above? You may have wealth and its pleasures, but what is home without love? Oh, gosh! They don't make songs like that anymore. They really don't.
No, that's true.
That's true, isn't it?
So I am curious how you first got interested in being a musician.
I think it goes back to about my last year of high school when I got a guitar for Christmas. And the school had a talent show. Well, I knew an awful lot of Tom Lehrer songs at the time. In fact, I can still sing just about every Tom Lehrer song if I think I can sing them in the order that they are on the record. I learned them that long ago, and when you learn it like that, they stick with you. So 4 months later, there I was in the school talent show, knowing about 5 chords and using every last one of them, and playing Poisoning Pigeons in the Park. You play it for laughs.
So it was actually listening to Tom Lehrer that really got you.
That got me into music. Yeah. And my mother is a classical and jazz piano player.
Oh, no kidding.
She's been teaching piano and playing piano for over 70 years now.
Wow.
So that was a good influence. She gave me piano lessons for a while. We've talked about it recently and decided that what I got was lessons in instinctive harmony. Not lessons in how to play the piano, lessons in instinctive harmony, how to hear a song and hear the chords that go with it, which is very useful when you're playing with Earl White or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Because those tunes ain't written down too often.
Yeah. So do you play any piano at all now?
I can thump out piano when there's a square dance going on and somebody needs the chords, and it's more important to get the rhythm right than it is to get the chords right. Under those conditions, yes, I can play piano.
I see. Well, we should let the folks out there know how they can get in touch with you in case maybe they're looking for an entertainer of your sort or somebody to play at a square dance. Or do you give lessons as well? Or
I haven't given lessons for a while, but anybody who's crazy enough to want to learn to play the banjo like Charlie Poole, or interested in those old classical styles, or again, the stuff my mother taught me, how to hear a song that you want to learn, figure out what chords go with it, and then to put an accompaniment to it. I guess I could do that. That would be fun.
Well, if for any reason they want to get in touch with Pete Peterson, there's his number, 609-683-1471. Where are you located, Pete?
Princeton.
In Princeton.
Princeton, about an hour from here.
If you want to be in Princeton
Yeah.
and take a lesson or meet Pete Peterson, give him a call.
Okay, thanks.
So, what else you got online for us here?
There's this awkward transition of how do you bend over without looking like a fool. I used to live on a farm where I raised blonde-haired daughters and Morgan horses and Newfoundland dogs. And the Newfoundland dogs, the Newfies. Have you ever seen a Newfie?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
2 in our neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
They're real good at slobbering you.
Okay, that was a beautiful cue, because there's this old shape note tune called Babylon Has Fallen, and one of these days, a long time ago, I was looking at our dogs, actually the very first dog, and singing, Slobber Chops is hungry, 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 Slobber Chops is hungry all day long. But if I'm going to do that, I should tune up. Okay, I used to live in Woodbury, Connecticut, which is where the first line of the song comes from. Now just imagine this big black dog weighing about 180 pounds, and you're eating dinner, and he comes over and says in dog talk, "Hi there. Got anything for me?" Largest dog in all Woodbury, fastest mouth in all the land. Travelers ought well be wary, feeding time is now at hand. Salesmen, postmen, bill collectors, hearken well unto my song. Slobber Chops is hungry, hungry, hungry. Slobber Chops is hungry all day long. Slobber Chops is hungry, hungry, hungry. Slobber Chops is hungry all day long. When you see that head approaching, tongue of fully 8-inch length, on your food he'll be encroaching. Give it up and save your strength. Some he gets by intimidation, some he begs with mournful eye. Slobber Chops is hungry, hungry, hungry. Slobber Chops is hungry all day long. Slobber Chops is hungry, hungry, hungry. Slobber Chops is hungry all day long. Newfies all have iron intestines, they'll eat anything, I've heard say. When you're faced with awkward questions, they'll make evidence go away. Nixon should have had a Newfie, he'd be president today. Slobber Chops is hungry, hungry, hungry. Slobber Chops is hungry all day long. Slobber Chops is hungry, hungry, hungry. Slobber Chops is hungry all day long.
Wonderful takeoff.
And he was, too. Another group of my musical heroes you've got a picture of right here.
The Carter family.
The Carter family. And, you know, you can't do a Carter family song alone. Nancy Schill and I have been singing together. And, Nancy, can you come up and we'll try this?
Right now, Nancy Schill, our camera lady and actually talent coordinator for these 2 shows that we're taping today. She's clamping down her camera in position there.
putting her microphone on.
So why don't you tell us a little about the song?
Okay. You know, I just realized this is another shape note song. This is one that's in the shape note hymnal with a completely different tune, but the Carter family did just what they do best, which was to change it into a song with a nice regular rhythm and only 3 chords and a very wonderful melody. A lot of the Carter family songs are very, very distinctive, and another one of those sentimental songs called Give Me the Roses While I Live. And Nancy, you're singing most of the verses.
Okay.
All of them, in fact. Did you lose an earring?
My earring just fell off.
Okay.
We're having fun now.
Okay. That's
Okay.
nervousness, folks. Starting again.
Okay. Wonderful things of folks are said when they have passed away. Roses adorn the narrow bed over the sleeping gray. Give me the roses while I live, trying to cheer me on. Useless are flowers that you give after the soul is gone. Let us not wait to do good deeds till they have passed away. Now is the time to sow good seeds while here on earth we stay. Give me the roses while I live, trying to cheer me on. Useless are flowers that you give after the soul is gone. Kind words are useless when folks lie cold in a narrow bed. Don't wait till death to speak kind words. Now should the words be said. Give me the roses while I live, trying to cheer me on. Useless are flowers that you give after the soul is gone. After the soul is gone.
Okay.
So the verses I know.
Okay.
Well, that's just as well because we're starting to run out of time here on Horses Sing None of It. And that was a wonderful song. And I think Nancy's, are you going to grab your fiddle? And Earl is going to come back on. We've still got Earl White in the studio here. And as Michelle, I see Michelle's getting out her fiddle too. We're going to have another little jam session here.
And do Buffalo Gals?
And Buffalo Gals. So I'd like to thank all you folks for tuning in to Horses Sing None of It once again. My name is Ralph Litwin, and maybe we could flash Pete's number on the screen again in case you want to get in touch with Pete, 609-683-1471. And you may want to book him as an entertainer or find out where he's going to be performing next, and that's the way to find out. Or maybe get lessons. Who knows why? What reasons you may have. You going to come on, Michelle? Oh, it's out of tune. Well, come on. If you suddenly get it in tune, just jump on stage here. And before we say goodbye to everybody out there, goodbye. But thanks for being on the show, Pete.
Okay.
Very entertaining.
Thanks, Ralph.
The time
This
just
was
flashed by.
Good.
Thanks again, Earl. And thanks, Nancy.
Thank you.
We owe a lot of thanks to Nancy because she brought both of these guys in for these shows. And,
What guys?
and she's also been our most consistent camera volunteer in the history of this show. And very helpful in all ways.
It's a great show. I'm lucky to be on it.
Even if I want to sing one more verse than you know. Sorry about that.
All right.
Someday you'll have to sing it for me.